Hey hCG family, I am back to talk to you about what I'm eating on my own protocol. I just got done working out and I'm having my coffee, so you guys can have coffee with me. First of all, I want to mention that I'm not recommending that anyone out there follow the protocol I'm doing. I'm simply sharing what's working for me and some of the products that I found that I really like. You may already know that I started the Thin Deluxe protocol in spring of this year. That protocol allows a few more foods that aren't on Dr. Simeon's original protocol. Those foods that I've been taking advantage of include corn tortillas, and I just buy the store brand. We're down in Texas, and I realize that some of you up in the north may not have even heard of corn tortillas or know what they are. Turkey bacon. I usually buy an organic brand of turkey bacon, and I don't eat it every day, probably once a week. And a couple of other fruits and vegetables that aren't typically found on the Dr. Simeon's protocol. That would be, I ate a lot of Brussels sprouts, ate broccoli, cherries when they were in season. They're gone. I'm so sad. But peaches, I've tried some peaches on the protocol. So I finished that round and I started a new Thin Deluxe round. Then I started hearing about this Dr. Lippman's protocol, and I read his book. I went to his website. I studied him, and thought, I wonder, I was slightly interested in some of the foods on his list, just to kind of break up the monotony. I don't eat a lot of processed foods, and I don't want to eat a lot of processed foods going forward. I really want my diet to be 90% or more of real food, fresh fruits and vegetables, something that doesn't have a label on it to read. So, but I was a little bit curious and really wondered, and I saw this protocol working for people, if I could incorporate some of the things on his list. So I went out and got a few. And what I'm going to be talking about today includes some of the things that I've been doing on Thin Deluxe, plus some of the things I've tried from Dr. Lippman's protocol. I want to say that if you're an hCG newbie, I really stopped short of saying that you should go ahead and just do the original Dr. Simeon's protocol if you've never done hCG before. If you don't do that, I would strongly urge you to pick a protocol and stick to that one. If you're going to do whatever protocol came with your drops, I know that there's other healthcare professionals and people out there recommending different protocols. Do that one. Or if you're going to do the Thin Deluxe drops protocol that I have on my website, do that one. If you're going to do Dr. Lippman's, follow that one. Don't try to mix and match from different protocols unless you are willing to accept the risk that you may stall or you may gain, or some of these products may not work for you. For me, I've been in the hCG game long enough, and I'm not freaked out by, a stall or a day where I gain. And I like experimenting. So some of the things that I have been eating all along on my Thin Deluxe protocol. First of all, my hCG shake. My favorite is the spiced chai. I mix this with water and on P2, probably with coconut milk or almond milk on P3. I use 1 scoop, and I may add fruits or spinach to it and make a smoothie. I probably drink the hCG shake once a week, or not even once a week. That's for time. I like real food. The shake is for times that I'm hungry, I'm in a hurry, or I've worked out and I just need to get some extra calories in a hurry, some extra protein. Then I'll do the shake. I mentioned my coffee. I love coffee, and for creamer, I use So Delicious Original Coconut Milk. I've been using this creamer since before I learned about the Dr. Lippman protocol, and it just turns out that it fits within the requirements of a packaged food on his protocol, and I'll tell you more about that later. Also in my coffee, on my previous rounds, I've been using sugar-free coconut syrup. Don't judge me. I hate stevia. I hate every brand of stevia I've tried. I cannot eat it. I can't stand it. And this is made with Splenda, and I use it. Sorry. But I will say that in this round, I overheard in a podcast about a product called Lakanto. KJ Landis knows a lot about nutrition and about eating healthy going forward, kind of during the hCG protocol and after. She claimed that this stuff tasted just like sugar. It's 0 calorie, 0 carbs. You use it in place of sugar, kind of spoon for spoon. It's made from what? Some kind of, I should know, it's made from monk fruit extract and erythritol, which is a sugar alcohol. Anyway, I bought some. It was really expensive. This little container right here was $18.99. I didn't realize how small the container was. So I only use a sugar or sugar substitute in my coffee in the morning, the equivalent of a teaspoon. I don't even think this is gonna last me through the month. So I don't know if I'm gonna bite the bullet and purchase this again. I know that you can't put a cost on health, but I'm still not sure whether it's gonna be worth it to $20 extra a month to sweeten my coffee. I use coconut oil, organic virgin coconut oil to saute my foods. Also, I spread it on toast I'll talk about the toast in a minute, but instead of butter, I use it on my skin. I love the coconut oil in P2 and P3. And Miracle Noodles. I've been using the Miracle Noodles since forever. And they are a shirataki pasta that's made from a root of a plant, 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 fat. They kind of don't taste like anything until you stir fry them or add your whatever sauce you add to them. Probably I eat 2 packages of these in a round. I don't really eat Miracle Noodles that often, but it does make for a nice change of pace. I guess that's all that I've been typically eating on my Thin Deluxe protocol. Now I want to talk about the things that I added and that I've tried on that are consistent with, they're either on the list for the Dr. Lippmann protocol or they're consistent with what he says you can have nutritionally. Oh, one more thing. Before I discovered Dr. Lippmann, I was eating Crunchmaster crackers. The reason I started eating the Crunchmaster crackers is because I am sensitive to wheat. I try to keep wheat out of my diet, and I found out, even in the original Dr. Simeon's protocol, this is when I started using these, that the nutritional profile was very similar, if not better, than the Wasa crackers or the Melba toast that Dr. Simeon said you could have. And because these crackers are gluten-free and they don't contain wheat, I would substitute these for the Wasa crackers or Melba toast. Now, the things that I've added. Egg whites. I think the egg whites were allowed they are allowed on the Thin Deluxe protocol, but I just never ate. I just didn't feel like separating eggs, and I didn't eat that much of them. But I took a chance and bought some packaged egg whites in the dairy section. This is just a store brand, and they're actually pretty good. I make omelets with them, and I make scrambled eggs with them, and add pico de gallo or salsa to them. And speaking of salsa, this is our store brand. It's called Bat Salsita. If you don't have an HEB in your area, I'm so sorry for you, because this stuff is so good. And it's got peppers in it, but it's got some type of a chili pepper that makes it really, really smoky. And For 2 tablespoons, it's got 1 gram of sugar, 2 carbs, and 0 fat calories. And I use this on my tacos, I use it in my eggs, I put it on my chicken, I put it on my steak. It's really, really worked out well for me. It really adds a lot of flavor. Dr. Lippmann said you could have these extend bars, which are really made for diabetics. They're 150 calories a serving, 0 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of fat. And honestly, even though I got the peanut butter flavor, and peanut butter is really one of my favorites, I didn't like them that much. And I think I stalled on the day that I tried these. So protein, 11 grams of protein, that's pretty good. I didn't really care for them that much, so I'm not going to buy these anymore. In fact, I'm not going to finish this box. But what I do like, and this was not on Dr. Lippmann's site, but I read someone who was doing his protocol that had tried these bars. I kept going by them. They're called the Think Thin bars. And I kept looking at them in the grocery store and looking at the nutritional profile and saying, but this doesn't even kind of coincide with what Dr. Lippmann says you can have nutritionally. It's too much fat, it's too much sugar, too many carbs. But one day I was curious and I bought a couple, and I've been losing consistently on these Think Thin bars. They come in flavors like chunky peanut butter, brownie crunch. Oh, it has 20 grams of protein. Maybe that's why it works out so well, because it has so much protein, and you really get your protein in on a day that you eat one of these. Most of the times I'll eat like a half of one, because they are like 230 calories per bar. So I had a half of one today. I'm eating a half of one today because I just got done working out. I'm kind of hungry. Okay. Speaking of peanut butter, I bought this PB2 months ago because they were sampling in the grocery store. I kept passing by this stuff for weeks and saying, powdered peanut butter, that is crazy. Who would eat powdered peanut butter? But when they sampled it, and there's also a chocolate brand, I really loved it. It's not as sweet as regular peanut butter. And what you do is you mix it with water or add it to a shake or a recipe to give peanut butter flavor. I really don't even want regular peanut butter anymore. I love this stuff, but I'd never tried it on protocol. But when I looked at the nutritional profile, and just to let you know, Dr. Lippmann has a standard for what you should look for in packaged foods. And I'm going to do a screenshot of the label information that he tells you that you should look for. What it basically is less than 2 grams of total fat, less than 2 grams of sugar, and less than 10 grams of net carbs. So you guys know that you take the total carbs, and if there's any fiber, you subtract that, and that gives you the amount of net carbs. Also, you want to make sure the protein is as high as possible. Calories is just going to have to fit into your calorie plan, and Dr. Lippmann recommends 800. I've been in this round between 600 and 800, mostly around 650, 700 calories a day. Anyway, I love this PB2. I slice up an apple, mix it with a little water, dip my apple in it. It's the best thing ever. One more thing that Dr. Lippmann specifically says that you can have is the Laughing Cow cheese. I used to buy this stuff years ago. I don't know why, but it's the Laughing Cow Light. Don't get the regular. Turns out that since I used to buy it, it comes in all kinds of flavors. So I have a sun-dried tomato and basil, and I have a Swiss. This is another brand. It's called Sonoma Jack's, but it has it's the same as Laughing Cow. This is smoked Gouda. I had pepper jack. I don't eat it that often, maybe once every couple of days. I spread it on my corn tortilla or on my multi-grain crackers. And one time, I think I put blended some in some soup to make like a spicy pepper jack broccoli soup. Or maybe it was cauliflower. This stuff I'm gonna keep using because it works for me, and I really miss cheese on the protocol. Ezekiel bread. Again, I'm not sure if it's on Dr. Littman's protocol, but somebody doing Dr. Littman's protocol said it was working for them. I bought our store brand of Ezekiel, well, what's Ezekiel brand is sprouted grain bread. And because I looked at the nutrition on the back and I felt like this was a better choice. And I love it. It's like a whole grain, multi-grain, gluten-free sprouted bread, and it is wonderful. I've heard of people eating 2 slices a day and still losing. I've only tried 1 slice a day. I had an open-faced bacon, lettuce, and turkey bacon, lettuce and tomato sandwich, and I had some toast yesterday for breakfast. And both days I lost more than a pound, 1.1 and 1.4. The days that I tried this bread. I just discovered this round. I'm not a huge fan of chicken breasts. And I find that when I cook the chicken breasts, they taste dry. Even though I know how to cook them so that they're as tender as possible, especially if you let them sit in the refrigerator, if you cook a lot of it, I just haven't been happy with it. So I decided to try this store brand of chicken breast fajitas, and it's seasoned already. Microwave them for like a minute and you're done. I really like this. It's got some preservatives in it, but it doesn't have any sugar. It's got onion powder, garlic powder, that kind of stuff. It's really worked out well for me. Back to a couple of things that I'm not going to continue to eat. I was tempted by Dr. Littman saying you can have these sugar-free cookies. And I bought some. They're by Murray. And they come in all kinds of flavors. These are shortbread cookies. There's some that look like Oreos. There's chocolate chips. You just go, if you've been on this protocol for a while and it's missing this type of stuff, you just go, ooh, I can have cookies. And they were good, but I find that when I'm on the protocol, I don't really crave sweets that much. So a couple of things that he said you could have, like these sugar-free cookies and sugar-free pudding and sugar-free Jell-O. Personally, I'm just not interested in those things. Don't really get me going. So I won't buy any more, but my teenager loved them, so she'll eat the rest of them. And one of the things that Dr. Littman recommends is some low-carb wraps. And while I was looking for these low-carb wraps, and by the way, they're called flat outs, and I haven't tried them because they have wheat in them, I found another brand of corn tortillas called La Tortilla Factory corn tortillas. They come in they're a handmade style. If you've ever been to a really nice Mexican restaurant and you've tried their corn tortillas, are really thick and they're really flavorful. They have yellow corn flavor and also green chili flavor. And they were good, and they didn't cause me to gain, except that I realized after I bought them that their brand of corn tortillas is a blend of corn and wheat. And like I was saying, I try to stay away from wheat. So I won't be buying these again. I'll probably use these for my family, make them some chicken enchiladas tonight. Anyway, those are the kinds of things that I'm eating on this protocol. 90% of what I eat is real food. I do pepper my meals and snacks with some of this prepared not a whole lot, because I feel like I'm in training for how to eat for the rest of my life. And I really like real food. I really want to eat real food. The one thing, I need to go back and read Dr. Littman's book again because I kind of rushed through it, but the one thing I wish that he would emphasize is to kind of put some limits on this kind of fake food. Just, just enough to kind of get you through the protocol, but not really building a menu and building a diet out of packaged and prepared foods. So this is working for me. It may not work for you. If you're interested in, if you need information on where to buy any of the stuff that I've mentioned, shoot me an email, shoot me a message. I'd be happy to share with you. I am planning on putting a Dr. Lippman's protocol food list and shopping list on my website, just like I have the Simeon's protocol shopping list and food list, just like I have the Thin Deluxe shopping list and food list. And that way, whatever protocol you're on, you can pick and choose. I want to do this protocol. You have a shopping list. You can print it out and take it to the store with you. Hopefully it'll make your shopping easier. I am going to make a vlog tomorrow on tracking my progress and tracking my calories on my Lose It app. And I'll see you then. Bye.